in getting that left-hand side more effective. Since Granit Xhaka's left this club, that left side has been absolutely atrocious. Trossard has done his best this season, but generally that left side for me is atrocious. And we need to have that dual threat. It can't just always be on Saka.
But Jordan, do you know what's really, really worrying about that is the left was starting to get it together. And the difference was bringing in Eze, who floats more as a 10 than Ødegaard does. So listen, I defend Ødegaard more than most. But Ødegaard has major tendency to drift to the right. Now, to be fair, Ødegaard didn't start this game against Wolves. So I'm talking more generally here. But for whatever reason, in this game, Eze didn't maybe float as much as he normally would. And when he does, you notice when he was playing with Marino, it'd be Marino who'd drop out to the right at times, and Eze would be the highest player. Mm-hmm. And so you'd get certain combinations down the left with Calafiori bombing up and down alongside Trossard. The best we've looked down the left is when those two have played together. And then Eze will sometimes come over to that side to help out a little bit. And Rice will sit a bit deeper to allow those guys to do that. I do worry a little bit because I believe the future of our midfield has Ødegaard in it with Eze on the left. But I do worry about us becoming really right-sided biased as well. On Eze, just very, very quickly as well. I agree. Like, I don't think he was as bad against Wolves as others said, but he was far from great. Like, he really wasn't particularly standout at all. I feel like he's a little bit misprofiled, and we've talked about this before. Do you know, if you compare like what Man City have to what we have, I would say we absolutely do not have an Erling Haaland. We don't have anyone who can remotely look anything like Erling Haaland. We all agree with that, right? Mm. In terms of what Phil Foden's doing, do we have anyone as good? I don't know. But Eze can produce the things that Phil Foden produces. The kind of goal Foden scored today against Palace, that kind of moment where it's not really happening. They've done a bit of defending, but you know what? They just need a bit of respite. They need someone to pull out a moment when that opportunity comes, that finish from outside the box. Eze can produce that. He did it 3 times in North London derby. He's done it countless times for Palace. I wonder how we platform him, because Man City rarely start Phil Foden in central midfield. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they'll play a 6 with him and Bernardo. But he's actually playing in a floating front 3 role with a Shirky or someone. And I want to see Eze given that kind of license. I don't want to see him being the 10, looking to knit play together, find the clever little passes. He can do that because he's quality. Foden produces that too. But I want to see Eze with that freedom to express himself as the finisher to moves, as the game killer, the game winner. And I feel like trying to get him in the 10, dropping out the block to try and make things happen, doesn't really suit his game. I want to see him in the carnage, in the chaos, like he was against Spurs when he won us that game.
But I'll roll it all into one. I think similar can be said about Saka, though. You know, I think he deserves praise for yesterday because he was the difference, and compared to the rest of the attackers, he was definitely the one that seemed more on it, right? But I don't think that was a tough thing to see him either compared to the other attackers. But Saka's at a point now where contract extension talks are going on behind the scenes. He's no longer star boy. He's not a boy no more, right? And Eze is coming to his team. Essentially, when we're talking about an attack, if I ask you all, whose team is it in attack? It's Saka's team, right? So he even when you speak of Foden's goal, for example, I thought of Saka. And that's not to say Saka doesn't impact games, right? Yeah. Because a cross that leads to a goal is impacting the game. But I just don't see enough of that step up yet, especially when contract extension talks are going on behind the scenes. Because the next contract is 350K. And if we're saying he's had a really good game when he's had 4 good crosses, then he's not worth 350K.
No, but I think, sorry, I've got to push back on that. I think that's unfair, Turkish. I think in isolation, if you look at Saka's contribution yesterday, just in isolation, that is a very, very good performance. The problem is everyone else isn't doing their job. If my winger can beat his winger 4 times in the first half, 3, maybe 4 times in the second half, get an assist and a goal, that's a 7 out of 10 performance. Right, if Martinelli did half of that, we win that game 3-4-1.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Let's call it a Mahrez performance. Yeah, is that fair? Let's call it a Mahrez performance. Mahrez was never the main man at City. This is what I'm saying. What is Saka? Is he the main man going to be the main man? Or are we saying this is the ceiling. A really good game.
Nah,
is
he's the main man, man. It can't be the season.
No, I agree with you, Deluded. That's why people better not think I'm getting onto him or being. This is probably me rating him higher than most here, because if he is the main man, I need to see a bit more than that against the Wolves side. Because at the end of the day, as much as his crosses were good, it was Wolves that fucked it all up. You know, they put it in their own net twice, right? There was a lot of fortune behind it. So if one of those don't go in and it's a 1-1, we're not going to be sitting here saying Saka had a very good game. We might say he was the best of the lot. But that's because we won. Now we're saying it was really good and he was the difference. I get that too. He was part of that.
But that's
I just feel like if you're on the way to be the star man, if you're on that way to 350K a week, you should be the one grabbing the ball by the horns. Eze's walked into your team. Gyökeres has walked into your team. Martinelli hasn't stepped up in 2 years. That's why Saka is the man. So yes, it was good, but I need more. Like against Everton, who do you think I'm looking at to be the main man in attack again? Saka.
Kyle.
That's not me saying, all right, I need Saka to have 4 good crosses in that game. No, I want Saka to cut in, drop a shoulder on a man, and just bury it. I want him to do a 1-2 and get that right foot into action again. I want him to put that polishing touch to what he's done over the years, which is propel himself to the point of here. Big contract coming, carry the team on your back to a title. You are the main attacker. That's why I'll stop short from saying very good game. I'd say good, yes, better than the rest, definitely. But again, he's part of an attack that I need to see more of. This goes to every single player in that attack. When starting, it goes for every single player. Aside from Trossard and Martinelli, who coming off the bench, in and out, they've been doing their thing. Every other player in the attack, including Saka, needs to do more for me.
I don't know if Arteta, who by the way, Arsenal played some really good attacking football this season, and I think we've got a lot better with our combinations. But I actually think now that the players are coming back and they're fit and available, I don't think he knows what he really wants to do with those options right now. I don't think he knows whether he. What's that, Deluded?
No, I was going to say that's a problem in December then if he doesn't know, man. He's got to have a rough idea. I can't lie.
Major problem, because let's hash out the quick debates that are there, right? Ødegaard or Eze in the 10. Ødegaard and Eze, but then what do you do with one of Rice or Zubimendi? Eze on the left, but Trossard's been the better player. You could go Trossard on the left, but Martinelli's got maybe more pace and has got more work rate than the three of them. Gyökeres up front, but Jesus is looking sharper than him right now. But Jesus isn't exactly a clinical finisher. I mean, while I give Jesus credit for the 2 appearances he's made, he also missed the header. Like, as much as the Wolves player put it in the back of the net, Jesus missed it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's kind of part of that as well. But let's face it, for 2 returns, he's looked good, and credit to him. Madueke is looking very, very, very sharp. So is Arteta going to force him on the left, just get him in the team because Saka's ultimately never going to get dropped? I don't think he has any clue. When Kai returns, he's going to want to play him because he loves Kai Havertz. So I don't think he knows what he wants to do and how he wants to platform any of these players right now. He's got a whole week now to train a little bit. Apparently they're taking 2 days off, and I think they need that. Sunday, Monday off. And they go back into training on Tuesday. And I think he needs to really, really, really get to grips quite quickly with what he wants to do with his attack. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't rotate, because I've been asking for more rotation, so let me not be a hypocrite. It just means Man City right now know what they're doing. It's Haaland up front, Foden and Shirky floating behind him. That is the identity of their attack. And a few years ago, it was Aguero or Jesus up front with Sterling and Sane on their strong foot out on the touchline. That's how he shaped his attack before. Arsenal Arteta need to decide in something that feels more consistent and more momentum building. What is our attack? Are we going Madueke, Saka as our 2 out-and-out wingers? We're going to bring them on the inside, but therefore you got to get Eze in the team. Like, there's quite a few things to think about there for Arsenal. And we'll see. I mean, look, I'm not worried because we've played some brilliant attacking football this season. But it's going to touch stale in the last few games.
Deluded.
54 minutes. Sorry.
Everyone fit, Deluded. Everyone fit, healthy, strong. Who's your front 4, including the 10?
Well, in general, or like with this season and form and all that stuff.
Right now, going into Everton, everyone's fit, everyone's ready. Your front 3 plus 10. When I say everyone, I mean Havertz is fit. Jesus
Oh,
is less.
for
I mean,
Everton.
everyone's fit. What is your? That's off what James said, because I agree with him. I think Arteta's still working it out, and that's a problem within itself. If I actually ask if we bought a left winger, would we have these problems? I think the answer will be no. If we had a Rodrigo, for example, or a Semenyo, we'd know what the lineup is. But I think, yeah, over time it hasn't worked out like that. So front four, everyone fit. What do you think?
Easiest one, Turkish, is obviously Saka on the right. Left hand side, current form included Trossard. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. When it's all said and done, he's probably been our most consistent attacker. Up front is a techie one. If I'm honest with you, and we're playing Everton tomorrow, I probably am going to lean towards Kai Havertz. But this Gyökeres thing, there's got to be some level of light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to go Gyökeres. I'm going to go Saka. I'm going to go Trossard. The 10 is a toss-up because I'm not necessarily convinced with Eze and Odegaard. With Everton away in mind, Odegaard starts. So Odegaard, Trossard, Saka, Gyökeres through the middle for me.
But Havertz, if he was available.
Yeah, Havertz, if he was available, my back's against the wall and I need 3 points, man, because I just feel with Gyökeres' form, listen, I want it to work for Gyökeres. One thing I liked when we signed him is, of course, he's not an Arsenal striker. He's not the most prettiest of footballers, but I thought that would have made Arteta change because he's not an Arteta striker on paper. And I think he's a limited striker that we're not getting the best out of the limitations, if that makes sense. That being said, though, and I know Gyökeres has been injured and things of that ilk, I do think Gyökeres is at that point now where you have to make something happen from yourself. I don't think he's aggressive enough as I thought. And yeah, he presses, he works the centre backs, and he does all of that kind of stuff. But for me, that's irrelevant because I can say Jesus does that. I can say Marino does that. And I can say, I'm missing someone else out, but I can say the front four do that. I need a bit more from Gyökeres, man. Like even, I think one of you mentioned it earlier, there was a ball that Saka put in. And to be fair, Gyökeres was in the box. I think in Portugal, if he arrives at that area at that specific time, he probably makes that. But the Premier League is quicker. And unfortunately, nobody cares. Like nobody cares that about the system and all of these things. We need a bit more from you, Gyökeres. And I it's disappointing if if Arteta generally in December doesn't know his best attack, and of course he needs to rotate and things, then I think we're in problems because we had question marks about us in an attacking sense last season. And I always equate it to when you're buying Gyökeres, when you're buying Eze, that's like me going Selfridges and buying the greatest of designers. But when I'm putting it on in the mirror, I don't know how to swag it all out. Arteta needs to know these answers and he needs to decide. If that is the case, you need to find that sooner rather than later. Goals win games. We need to be decisive in both boxes. We're not defending well enough. We're not playing to our attacking capabilities. Sort it out because we've got a good platform and we could achieve something in May, man. But yeah, that would be my front four, Turkish.
Just sticking with you, sorry, just for a sec. There was a debate, summer. Arteta wanted Sesko, Berta got Gyökeres. Do you agree with that? Because we touched on it last show where we said, surely, everyone was involved in the deal. Like, people wouldn't be swayed by fan opinions. And I think Madueke proves that. Madueke signing, everyone's going mad. They still signed him. So do you think Sesko was the preferred option for Mikel and he just ended up with Gyökeres? But then you consider the price tags weren't too far apart. What was the reason that it didn't happen then? Or do you think that in the end, all in, they decided this is the striker that we need because he is different to what we got and we need different?
Do you know what, Turkish? I think when you look at transfers, they've probably had a list of targets on walls and compared all the pros and cons, money, how the agents like, etc. So I think everybody was loosely fluid in whoever is going to sign. Of course, I do think maybe Arteta wanted Sesko, Berta pushed for Gyökeres, but it's not to say that Arteta didn't necessarily rate Gyökeres or Berta didn't necessarily rate Sesko. I think they both had pros and cons. If you were to ask me, we've been looking at Sesko, or the credible journalists have said for the last number of years that obviously we've wanted Sesko. So I'm inclined to believe he probably was the club's kind of favourite, and Berta's come in, maybe he's kind of levied against that and things of that ilk. So I think it would have been Sesko. But for me, I've always maintained, regardless of whatever striker arrived, we're not set up to get the best out of a striker. And I think we all can agree, we'll accept that in today's day and age, strikers are marked out of games. They've got to drop deep. They've got to work the channels. They've got to bring other people into games. But I do think Arteta needs to look at what he demands from a striker beyond the obvious. Because even Pep Guardiola, on paper, Haaland isn't exactly a prototype of what you would imagine a striker for Pep. But at some point, he considered I needed a cold-hearted killer. So I think Sesko, man. If I'm honest, I think Sesko. But that's why I was happy, because a lot of people did sit there and say Arteta gets his way, he gets all his players. And I wouldn't have Gyökeres down as an Arteta player. So I guess I just thought different players, kind of different results, if that makes sense.
Yeah. James, was you about to say something?
Yeah, you asked a question about what should be our attack, right?
Yeah.
All fit. I want Rice and Zubimendi, and I want them sitting in front of the back 3, 4 and build up, whatever it is. Like one as a distributor, one as a destroyer. Both of them can get up and down the pitch. They've done that really well together this season. Get Erdegaard, not drifting out to the right, pulling out the block, all that. Get him where he was against Olympiacos, receiving the ball in central spaces, high up. He also did that in the first couple, 20 minutes or whatever against Forest. Did that in the first 20 minutes against West Ham. Did against Newcastle. Do you remember that ball he played into Lewis Skelly? That was from the left side. Get him floating in that 10 space. Get Eze on the left, because I think Eze needs... I know Trossard's the form player, and I'm not saying you do this immediately, but I think this is what we need to build towards. Eze on the left, I think he's got something about him as a touchline winger every now and again. He can drift on the inside. And then what you've got is players like Saka as well, who want to receive the ball. Gyökeres just make runs, attack the space, attack the box, get on the end of crosses, make those little darting runs in behind the back four. When you do that, you're stretching the game and you're creating the space for Eze's, for Erdegaard's, for Saka's to do the kind of things you want them to do, Turkish. Because while you want Saka to play the 1-2s and drive into that space, it's only going to happen if those players are making those runs to create it as well. Like, you can't run into traffic. Do you know one game I really enjoyed from Gyökeres, which is so weird because he didn't really play that well? You remember Fulham away this year? We won 1-0. Remember when Saka just rolled that ball in behind for Gyökeres and he had that first-time shot of the keeper? That was in the first half. And then Trossard played a first-time ball over the top to Gyökeres in the second half, where he kind of wrestled round defender, should have scored too. But I just love like running forwards. Just run forwards. And what you do is you give those players the ability to play those passes. At the very least, they might pick up something behind you if you don't make it happen. That for me, Rice and Mendy, Saka, Erdegaard, Eze, Gyökeres up front. Run with that as your kind of base. And then adapt. If Jesus is looking really sharp and Gyökeres' form continues like this, you might have to make a change. Trossard's playing so well, I don't think you can run with this immediately. Eze might have to come out of the team for a game or two. But I want us come January to be looking at something like that. That for me is the better balance of all the profiles we have.
I think Arteta's obsession with control and dominance in games is the reason why, even though you're right, run forwards, there is never really space because we were so slow in transition, and optimally would like to just control and I don't know, slowly but surely break a team down. It doesn't suit a Gyökeres. And I guess when we're looking at the situation now, the attack, let's not have another season where we finish second. We look at the table and it's because of the attack more so than it is defense. Arteta's got to let a bit something go, because I said 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game weeks in, I can't really get onto him until he's missing chances, right? Missing gilt-edged chances, right? He still probably hasn't had many gilt-edged chances. Now, slowly but surely, like I said, honeymoon period over, and it's time to do something yourself, for goodness sake now. Yeah. Just do something that I can latch onto. That moment in the box, I mean, you called it wrestling. I think the touch was beautiful. He rolled him nicely, and the finish was poor. He dragged it.
Was this the one against Wolves? Sorry, second half.
Yeah, the second half. Yeah.
I liked that from him as well. It was good centre forwards play.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that sometimes, because I'm not saying you should have scored that. You should have got it on target, but it was a moment that I can say, oh, close control, rolled, shot. Within 2 touches, he's got a shot on goal. I like that. But it's his only real moment across the season so far that I can say quick, precise, and it would have been beautiful if it went in. If that nestled in the back post, that would have been a beautiful goal, his best goal yet. But I think Arteta's also got, before Jordan jumps in, because I know there is no defending. There is no defending the situation with Gyökeres with Jordan. But I think it all plays into each other's hands, and I think it starts with. Everyone said if we sign Gyökeres, Arteta has to change it up a bit. But everyone also admitted that Arteta has to change it up a bit, regardless of who he signs. I don't think he's got that bit right for me to fully judge the other bit, and that goes for everyone out there, right? Aside from maybe. Even a Saka it goes for, even though he's been here a long time now, he knows what it is, he's used to what it is. I still feel like there's a bit that Arteta can there's still a handbrake on in attack. There is still that handbrake word. It's back. It's in attack. There's something going on there. It's stuck. But Jordan,
5 shots in the first half. Sorry, 5 touches in the first half. 5 touches in the first half. I bet on Gyökeres, William Hill. Big up William Hill. The odds, I've forgotten the odds, to get 3 shots on target. I'm not even betting on goals. I'm not even betting on goals, gentlemen. You didn't even get that. 3. I said I put a tenner on 3 shots on target. It's Wolves. I thought it's Wolves, isn't it? Get some shots off. Don't even give me goals. Don't even give me goals. Some shots, I beg. Couldn't even get one on target. I don't know how much longer we do this for. I don't want to come on this podcast every week and just bash the guy. He's my striker. He plays for my club. I want him to do well. But the mere fact is he's not good enough. He's just not good enough. He looks too big and bulky. His movement is horrendous. He's too slow. His one attribute, strength, is negated in this league because in this league, everybody's strong. I don't see a clinical finisher. I don't see someone that's great in the air. I don't see a great link-up guy, a channel runner. All these things I'm just not seeing. If I was to answer your earlier question, Turkish, my forward would be Marino. It'd be Marino. Then Havertz. Then Jesus. Then Gyökeres. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? The guy that I trust the most up front right now is a midfielder. It's so bad. I don't know what we're doing with Gyökeres anymore because he's got no confidence. Clearly cool, but I don't think it's a confidence thing. I just don't think he's good enough. He's not good enough.
What about tactical?
Tactical? Well, Mourinho gets goals in his team. Jesus got some chances in 2 games.
But Marino has an art that is so unique. Just to be there in those moments and also have a high percentage of putting it away. That is very unique in football. I think it's hard to compare to him because it's not like Marino plays up front and we create an abundance of chances and we look wow. No, he plays up front and if he gets a chance, he'll probably score it, which is better than Gyökeres and better than Havertz. I agree with you there in terms of the feeling, but it's not like we play any different. And you mentioned you made a bet on Gyökeres. Brother, we had 2 shots on target in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Both shots on target, Declan Rice.
Mm-hmm.
None of our attackers had a shot on target. None. Not the 60 million signing in the summer. Not the captain that's been here for how long? Not the actually no, he wasn't. Sorry, not Saka who's been here for how long? Not the 60 million new striker we've got, and not the Brazilian winger that's been here. None of the attack had a shot on target. Crazy. That's crazy.
I was going to say, Jordan, I appreciate what you're saying, and I wasn't. I was so frustrated with Gyökeres' performance, but I'm not sure your stats there say as much as you think they do. I know the 5 touches in the first half was poor. I've just looked. Haaland averages 22 per game in the league. That's 11.5. Like it's not. I mean, it's low. It's not like a massive difference. Like
no. But what? But sorry. Just before you go on, I could accept 5 touches in the half if I know I was getting 2 goals in the 90 minutes.
And Haaland gives you that. I give it. Yeah,
Haaland can get away with minimal touches because you know, James, at some point that monster's getting at least 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, but Haaland's finishing and frequency of goals is off the charts. I just looked as well. He averages 2 shots on target per game. Like it's unbelievable how efficient he is. My frustration with Gyökeres wasn't 5 touches in the first half. It's what he did with those touches. It's that they were heavy. They didn't take him in a position to hold off the defender at any point. My frustration was that it's 2 weekends in a row where Declan Rice has whipped it across goal against Villa in the 93rd minute. Saka's whipped it across goal at 0-0 against why do I keep forgetting, against Wolves? And he's not on the end of either of them. These are great crosses, my friend. Like Victor Gyökeres, this is the. You're right, Turkish. I haven't seen him blunder a load of big chances, but I would argue that if he gets to those, which he should, then those are really big chances. Yeah. So that's where I've been more frustrated with him. I don't really mind these on the periphery of games. I don't really mind that. I think that's his style. I mind that he does so little with the moments he does have, or let's say has been doing so little since Chelsea, 45 minutes against Villa, Bruges, and now this game. That's where I've been frustrated.
All right, let's look at Everton then and go around. Who starts up front against Everton? Deluded.
Gyökeres.
James.
Backing you, Victor. Let's do it. Gyökeres.
Last chance to lean.
Yeah, he's testing me.
I think I know Jordan's answer, and that's I get it. I understand it,
Not
but
the worst approach.
Well,
yeah,
no,
that
but is it
last-
Marino?
Marino, Everton away.
You say yeah, but he started at Sunderland and we drew. He started at Chelsea, we drew. He started at Villa, we lost. So what do you want? What do you want Marino starting away from home for the league for us?
James, the bar is low. I'm picking the best of the worst.
We've got 4 options and none have really grabbed
But
that
I
shirt.
Best of the worst. The bar is
I don't
low.
know if he's. I know. I hear that, Joe. I hear it, but
He's probably
I hear
knackered
it.
as
Look,
well.
I'm not saying
I'm working with.
I'm not saying there's no merit to it. I'm not. And look, maybe I'm sounding more exasperated than I should because fair play. He is the best finisher at the club, but we have just seen away from home. We have had no control, no impetus, no presence, no like back to front threat when Marino's been up front. At the very, very least, Gyökeres makes defenders think. At the very least, they might go, oh, he's just peeled off. We should probably go chase him.
When he comes off, teams starting to go further forward as well. That's the one thing I'll give Gyökeres if I'm honest.
How long? How long before?
Yeah, no, it's not a
defenders
cop
start
out. It's just something that goes back
No,
into
no,
game
I'm
management
saying-
and
what you're
controlling
saying
game
is true.
states, which is on the gaffer.
What you're saying is true, but I'm saying how long before defenders start thinking we can let him go? We can.
Yeah,
let
I
him
mean
run.
that becomes a worry,
Yeah,
doesn't
true.
it? He just
I
did
don't
it.
think- you know what?
You bought the striker.
And so no one will go Jesus. No one wants to give Jesus a start. Another week of training. He'll have been back in the match.
Not
day
unless you're
squad
going
for
left
2
wing
weeks.
for me, Jesus.
Ooh.
Jesus,
Guys, I think
Gyökeres,
Martinelli's
Saka,
got away
front
with
three, I'm on.
murder in this podcast, by the way. Can I just say that? I think Martinelli.
Martinelli is official. He's not a starting winger.
Yeah.
I've told
He's
you that a
crazy,
long
man.
time ago. That's why this season I look at him more favorably. You've come off the bench and you've helped us. Thank you. When he starts, I expect 0, and I get 0. In fact, that one moment he had in the second half, I was like, "What?" And then he went and fluffed his lines. Either get it to Gyökeres or make the keeper make a save. He hit it wide. But James, I'm used to that with Martinelli. Like, I don't
Yeah.
expect when he starts. It's a quiet day on that side.
That's how
solid
bad
game.
it is, James. I'm with. Well, you know my thoughts on Martinelli.
Yeah.
I don't even consider him anymore. He's not even a consideration. Like we're past that now. We know where we are with him.
I think because I always like to give a bit of grace to the players who I like. I do think he is. I think his attributes is suited to a striker. I don't know why. I feel like that's the position he should be in. I think we'll sell him one day. He'll play out front for someone like Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone, and he'll ball out. But who knows?
Hey, Martinelli.
Yeah, I could see him going
That guy
somewhere.
would be lucky to go Celta Vigo, bro.
No, I think James is right.
He ain't going to Atletico, man.
His decision making's got to improve.
No, but you get my premise. Like, I think he could go to like another good side, be
And look
used
like a different
better,
player.
and look
Okay.
brilliant. Like for example, I think Jurgen Klopp, in the way he used forwards, would have got so much out of Martinelli. I think he'd have
Like
got
him,
so much out of that kind of the electric version of Martinelli. So I'm not trying to hate on the player, but even at the one moment that you said he did well against Doherty made the decision for him because Doherty went in for a challenge he wasn't going to win. So Martinelli took a touch, whereas there's space, ran into it, and then blitzed it wide. It was appalling. Like it was like the one good thing he didn't. He put it wide
He's
anyway.
only good when he's instinctive, Martinelli, unfortunately.
I actually agree with that. When he hasn't got much time to think, that's why I think he's a
Cash
better
money.
striker. Get on the end of things, be the finisher to moves, make quick runs. Not a lot of time to think about your decision. When he first came through under Mikel Arteta, because I know he came through under Emery, but when he started to get the run under Arteta, he was an electric winger in 22-23 as well. He's been found out. He's been totally found out. He's lost that explosiveness. It's not there anymore. Fullbacks know how to deal with it. So he needs to reinvent his game. I think he's better on the inside than he is the outside. But still, you're playing against Matt Doherty and Wolves, and you could have no impact on the game. I was so disappointed with it. I was as disappointed with him as I was anyone on that pitch. I thought because where Gyökeres was poor and barely touched the ball and did very little, at least Martinelli saw the ball. Like, at least he had the opportunity to try show something. Like, come on, I need more from him, man. Trossard came on. See how he was picking out Declan Rice in the pockets, Lewis Skelly underlapping.
Yeah.
Like, Trossard's gone, all right, you're not going to play me centrally. I'll just be a number 10 off the left wing. He's literally playing like a 10, like picking out passes, playmaking. And Marte's not even giving us that when you can't beat our fullback. Like, I was so disappointed, and I like the guy. I really think he's going to leave Arsenal and actually do well. I genuinely do, but it's just not happening anymore for me at Arsenal. I'm sorry.
I'd probably go Jesus up top, you know.
I wouldn't be mad at that, but I just
wouldn't be mad.
I don't have any faith in him either. Everyone's getting excited about Jesus because we know he's a top player, but we know we're going to get 8 games out of him and he'll be done. And also, because the bar is so low, we're clamoring for Jesus. But let's not pretend like Jesus is the answer with his soft shots and I'm not backing Jesus because I just don't think there's a player there anymore.
We might get a better Eze out of Jesus, in my opinion.
Maybe,
I think if Eze starts on the left wing, Jesus likes to float there. Jesus 1-2s, Eze 1-2s. They've both got that raw footballing, you know, street ability. I think it could. You know what? That's my front three: Saka, Eze, either side of Jesus. Odegaard behind them, Rice, Subi, and the defenses, whoever's there.
This summer, just bring me a striker, please. Just summer, please. Can you get me a striker? Since Robin van Persie, I've not had a serious striker. I know some will say Aubameyang. I didn't love Aubameyang for various reasons. But for me, since Van Persie, we have not had a serious centre forward. That's a long time.
There's no serious...
Van Persie's son is playing for Feyenoord. What's going on?
There's not many serious strikers out there, man.
Yeah, the striker market's rubbed, man. We should have got Hugo Ekitike in hindsight, if I'm honest.
We actually did something that makes sense this summer. Who's the top scorer? Who's the handful of top scorers? Let's go for one of them. If we're going by superstar stardom or like that sort of ability, the only viable one is Julian Alvarez. And how easy is that to get from Atletico? You're looking at 130, 140.
Does he even want to leave Spain?
If that, yeah. Right.
Okay, just for look, an hour and 17 minutes, we've well and truly gone in on the team, and rightly so. They deserved it after that performance. For the sake of asking it, are we all overreacting a little bit? I'm just asking the question. I don't necessarily think we are. You know, this team hasn't failed to score goals. We did score at the Bridge. We did score 2 at Sunderland. We did score at Villa. I think we've left goals on the pitch in certain games. It was 2-0 against Brentford. It was 3 in Bruges. Like, are we? Is there any part of us that maybe are just looking at a little bit too?
Nah, man, because we know it. Arteta knows it. The players know it, man. In their hearts, there's more to give, man. Football's decided in both ends. In the last few games, we haven't defended well enough, but we knew going into this season we had issues in a creative sense. Yeah, there's been injuries and players haven't been allowed to settle and build relationships, but it does feel like there's chinks in the armor and it's a bit of deja vu. So it is a mixed bag. Maybe we do, James, have to kind of ease off a bit because, you know, we maybe are going harsh, but nah, man, I think if you want to win a Premier League title and go to a realm that we haven't been, then you've got to apply logic, but you've also got to be harsh because being good isn't good enough. You've got to be great to win a league title, especially when you're looking at City getting their act together. So I don't think so, man. I think there's been a lot to give in all of the moments we've been disappointed with, even though we all know here you can't win them all. Just need to go and be great now, man. Just need to up the gears, man. Up it.
Well said. Yeah, good answer. To be fair.
I don't think we're going over the top. I think we're analysing what it's about standards, right? And we won the game, got the 3 points. But as Deluded said, if we're going to win this title, we've got to be able to put inferior opposition away at home more convincingly than that. We'll have harder tests. I mean, that's probably on paper the easiest game of the season. Wolves at home is probably your easiest game of the season, right? And we just won it. We've got to be better. I think off the back of the Chelsea, Sunderland, Villa, that kind of period, we've now got to go on a run over Christmas where we assert ourselves. We need to get Saliba, Gabriel back in this team ASAP. Because if we win this title, we're going to win this title through our defense, not our attack. We're going to win this title through clean sheets, not relying on goals up top. So we need to get back to where we were a month ago. and get back into that groove. Get through the Christmas period. We've got to beat Everton. We have to beat Everton, get through the Christmas period and see where we are come January. But for me, it's about starting a run. And that's and clean sheets. I'm really gutted that we conceded the goal in this game. We shouldn't be letting in goals against, even with that back four. We shouldn't be conceding goals. Get back to clean sheets. Get back to being hard to play against, and winning games. And go on a run. There's no time to blink. City are on us, but we're not. This is not the time to be blinking and getting scared. Keep winning games. They will back off. If they smell fear, they'll get into their groove.
Jordan, you know, I think you said something earlier that I think is so unbelievably true. You know, like, why do we go life and death with teams? Why are we not killing games off? Why does it feel like every game is 90 minutes to the end? I need to look into. I'll actually do the number crunching on this. I bet you that we could prove statistically that Arsenal have played more intense minutes than Man City this season.
Definitely.
Probably.
I think you could absolutely argue that Man City have had some games done by maybe minute 60, minute 70. And so they've had games where for 20, 30 minutes, they've had to coast over the line. I think Arsenal, I can think of two. Leeds at home, maybe Forest at home as well. I think I might need to look back. But basically, I think Arsenal, most games, even when we beat Olympiacos 2-0 in the Champions League, even when we beat Brentford 2-0 the other day, finding like a 90th minute second goal. Like, I have a feeling there's just been a lot of games for Arsenal that have gone like really see it out all the way. Bayern included, that was 3-1. Tottenham included. Do you remember Tottenham? Even though we were 4-1 up, it felt like we just had to maintain like that energy throughout because it was a derby, because you never know what can happen or whatever. Yeah, even Atletico Madrid, like, I don't know, maybe not, to be fair. No, but that's not true. We took off Gabriel. I don't know. I just feel like City, and I have to look at the numbers, have been able to wrap things up a bit quicker.
All right, well, this weekend coming is a big one. I mean, City got a favourable home fixture. We've got a tough away fixture. So the tables have turned. This week, it was the other way around. Game week 17. It's difficulty level higher for us, in my opinion. Here's how the table looked before the Wolves game. Here's how the table looks after the Wolves game. So, a quick explanation for the video watchers. Jordan predicted 3-1 and Eze, so he only got 1 point. Eze did nothing. I predicted 5-0. 5-0 and Saka. I got 1 point for the 5-0 and 2 points each for Saka. Wait, is it 2 each for each assist?
Oh no, I need to double check that. I'll be honest. I'm genuinely just saying this. I don't think we said it was per goal or assist.
So
I think we genuinely said it was if they got an assist, whether it was 2, 3, or 4.
That's why I've just.
Am I still top then?
No, you mad?
No. But I'm gonna double check that.
No, I think you're right. That's why it popped up in my head as well. I think I'm on 17 points, people. I'm not on 19, even though that's what it says on the screen. I'm actually on 17. I did that incorrect, but I pulled myself up on the mistaken. We move. I've done it in the background quickly, so it is updated. So here we are. There we go. All right, so I am top on 17 points. Saka got an assist, got me 2 points, and the correct result got me 1. Jordan second on 14 points. Correct result, 1 point. James, correct result, 1 point. He's on 10 points now. And the guest is last on 5 points at this moment in time. So in terms of Everton predictions, I'm going to go first. And I'm going to say 2-1 win. Saka. Starman. Jordan.
Everton away. I'm gonna say, oh man, this one worries me, boys. I think it's gonna be a draw. I'm going for a 2-2.
Do you want the squad list or?
I'm gonna go Marino.
Marino. James.
Double M.
Oh, fuck it. 3-0 Arsenal. Gyökeres.
Wow. Energy.
No, I think they need to come out with a major response. They've got a week to just get themselves together. And I don't think we've become a bad team where suddenly I'm going to just start stressing about them week in, week out. I'm going to back them.
What you've just done is when a poker player just says all in.
All in.
Yeah.
Deluded.
And they normally lose all their money, by the way.
The house always tends to win. Hopefully not Saturday. Prediction and Starman Deluded.
Prediction 2-1 Arsenal. Starman Declan Rice. Everton away, man. Declan Rice always pulls it out of the bag, man. I'd love it to be the attackers, but Rice.
No, that's not a bad shout.
Rice
Cool.
from a set piece, man.
There's the predictions. Me and Deluded have gone 2-1. Jordan's gone 2-2. James has gone 3-0 Arsenal, and we've all picked someone different for Starman. So there will be change come next show. And on that note, let me bring the overlay back and round off with comments of the day. Everyone got that?
The comments were very, very good, to be fair. Just in terms of like the love for Ashley Walters, like there was so much excitement. Look, honestly, sometimes like life just gets busy. I don't always get to dive into the comments immediately, but I was really kind of curious. Like, I don't know. I just what people thought of the show, and like I knew there'd be excitement for Ashley Walters, but they all went absolutely nuts. I know it's the most liked one, but the Anne Hathaway comment absolutely killed me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, her and her love for Trossard. I think we've got to make that happen. Do you have links there, Turkish?
Yeah, come on, put a call in.
I don't, to be honest with you. And shall I tell you a funny story? When I saw Anne Hathaway suggested in the comments, I thought to myself, does she support Arsenal? Because I think she'd be good. I thought it was the person that hosted the Weakest Link.
And
That's Anne Robinson. I had to search it and saw it all out. That's Anne Robinson. So, yeah, I mean...
Oh, no, I'm just... Yeah.
Could you imagine her on the show? Jordan, you are the Weakest Link. Goodbye. And then he doesn't come back again. That would be the greatest ending for someone on a panel show in life.
I think you've got to bring her in just for the sake of it.
We'll try, man.
That's unreal. Are there any other like really high profile like Justin Bieber's a massive Arsenal fan? I'm sure he wants to come on the pod.
Man said, and wasn't that's wow.
And Rollins.
Wow. It's
have
late.
you seen have you guys ever seen like old footage of like that kind I think it was that show and like other shows like it. They were brutal back in the day.
Yeah.
Brutal. Like
the Weakest Link with Anne Robinson and the rappers from America. That one was one of the best Weakest Links ever. If anyone has time, search Weakest Link rappers. Hilarious.
I see that one.
Hilarious. Oh my god. Listen, TV back in the day. I don't know if you don't seen Ali G interviewing Trump. Yeah, but that oh
You'll
my
never get that nowadays.
Bruh, it's all mad. But yeah, comments of the day. Well, I've got one here, and it was listen. The love was mad, like James said. But I've got this one from the official AK saying, "Can't lie. The fact that can't lie. The fact we're not even that many podcasts in and seeing how goated it is. This is serious quality. Love for the love people, and it's only looking like this because of the community, right? The numbers are from the community. The love is from the community. So." Love for the love, man. It's because of you guys that people like Ashley, people like Deluded, people like Sharky, whoever else has been on over the first 15, 16 shows, because it's still very early, have come in and taken part, because we're growing something special here. So love for the love, people.
I had a really good one, but I've lost it. But I'll try and find it for next week. But I've got one here. Whoever's doing the bookings, their Christmas bonus can't come fast enough. Well, that was a good one. I like that one. And yeah, a lot of people picked up on on my unfortunate pause during during the pod. A few people timestamped it. I didn't mean to say what I said, but I got a bit excited, and life happens, isn't it?
Don't say you got a bit excited.
Oh wow, yeah. So Turkish, wrap it up.
Just-
People don't even know there's episode 5's coming out of the Diddy documentary, and Jordan's in it. But yeah, we'll leave that one for another day. Hey, deluded.
Oh no.
I deluded. Love my bro. I let them know, man. Let them know what's good, what's not good, and yeah, we'll keep it moving. Am I getting cancelled?
No,
I'm
man, I
not.
don't think you're getting cancelled, but
Alright.
bloody hell, man. Nah, Turkish and the panel, it's been amazing, man. Big up the chat. Appreciate you lot for having me. Like you said, man, you lot are very early in this. You're building a great platform. Onwards and upwards, man. In terms of myself, tap into Deluded Gooner on YouTube, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Big up everyone.
The link's there, people. You don't even have to type it in. It's in the description. You click it, you
Like,
subscribe.
fucking man.
And the socials, you know what it is already. Deluded Gooner, pop up X, IG. You do TikTok as well or not?
Started, yeah. I mean, I find TikTok a bit weird. I upload on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker, but yeah, man.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I got a TikTok account. So yeah, same
Yeah,
users, same all that stuff.
Light work. Won't be the last time, people, but show him some love. Big up Deluded, big up Jordan, big up James, big up the community. Love as always. And yeah, we'll be back hopefully as a full panel come Sunday, Monday. Make sure you're here. Subscribe, notification bell on, like, hype, subscribe. Love for the love.